Sylvia. Okay, there you go. Make sure you get a notebook on your way in. Oh, you got mom? All right now. Oh, that's so sweet. She wanted to come. Look, that one moves every time you move. You know when? Okay. So when you walk over, there, be like, it's moving. Hopefully it don't fall. That makes me nervous. Be like, we ain't finna have no craziness. I'm on. Hello, 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 hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Yay! We're so happy that you joined us. This is our second installment of our Life Changing Christian Center Financial Summit. And my name is Dr. Zenoria Pruitt. And I'm up tonight. Last week we had a dynamic presentation from Tamika Wilson Lewis. She recently got married. Like I had to think about the name, Tamika Wilson Lewis, and she has a financial strategies team, and she basically set us up. She told us about ensuring that we tithe, got that tenth. Then make sure you pay yourself. Make sure that you put money into your Roth accounts, into your investment accounts, which we're going to talk about tonight, and those kind of things. But then also make sure you take care of your household. You know, make sure you got to pay the bills because you got to have somewhere to eat, where to sleep, all that good business. And then you also going to have a little money to the side that you need to put in savings. We're going to hit that real quick. And she did talk on a few points. I'm going to elaborate on some things that she mentioned. And so we're going to get started. I am also going to give you a few minutes of why I'm qualified to talk about this. I've been doing stocks since I was probably maybe 13 years old. I love, 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 love stocks. I also, in my 9 to 5, I manage and direct several large scale, Jesus, research studies. One of them is $26 million, the other $16 million, and the other one's $5 million. So that's on my head every day. So I have to chase down money if I got to. You got to figure out where things go. We have pieces of equipment that are actually almost $250,000 for just one piece of equipment that can fit in a suitcase. So it's like every time I think about it, it's like this is a house. So that's my 9 to 5. And I'm also involved in treasure for other organizations. We have a Millionaires Investment Club, which I'll talk about a bit about how you can form your own club. Some people do it for their own house. And it works out really well. It helps you invest all together and you don't have to put your money in by yourself. And you also have a team of individuals that's watching stock. So y'all do it. It's like a family thing. So let's get started. All right, stocks, bonds, and crypto. Oh my. We're going to talk about diversifying your funds. You want your portfolio. You want a portfolio. When I talk about that, that means that everything in your well house that is producing money. So if you got a savings account, you got a job, that's a part of your portfolio, or your Roth accounts that you go with your jobs and things like that. And please, 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 I hope one of the things I hope you get from all three of the individuals that's going to talk next week is going to be Mr. Terrence Armstead, and he's going to be talking about UILs, Universal Life Insurance, and I think annuities too. But we want you to make sure that I hope all of y'all get to the point where you go to your benefits office and say, what are my Roth accounts doing? Because you can do that. You can see exactly what your accounts are doing, where they are, how they are being managed, and things like that. If you don't like it, change it. But have knowledge when you change it. All right. Now, I've often been asked by many Christians, since we are in church, and I thank God for being here. A lot of Christians will say that investing is a part of witchcraft. I've even heard that investing is you not being a good student of God's money. I have. A lot of people talk really negative about investing, but I want to let you know that God said it, not I. So even there's a couple of our verses that I just pulled out. I mean, and actually, this is a couple. It's a lot about investing. You have whole stories, of course, in Matthew when he talk about the servants and the tithes and the talents. That when he buried his one talent, the master came back and said, "Hold on, you didn't do nothing with this talent." And the other servants, they use their talents to triple and double their investments. Then, of course, we have This is one of my favorite verses. Ecclesiastes 11:2, which means invest in several ventures. Yes, in eight. You do not know what disasters may come upon the land. You don't know what will happen to you. So always have money set aside. You don't know if the car breaks tomorrow or you wind up going to the hospital for a surgery and wind up staying there for 3 weeks. You don't know what happens in your life. So be able to be prepared for it. So I'm hoping throughout these series that you get to the point where you realize that is needed. All right. So I also want to sell and in everybody's packet. So I hope you come in, you get your packet. In everybody's packet, my PowerPoint is in there. So you'll see that for our community, I want to see where let you see where it stands. And actually, we ain't doing bad. You know, people talk about us, we ain't doing bad. We had a blip up, as you can see from the chart. I don't know if I don't have a pointer. A blip up around 2021, 2001, 2002. Oh, well, what happened in 2001? Anybody can guess what happened in 2001? Mm-hmm. 2001. Yep, you got it. September coming up. You got it. Ring, ring, ring. 9/11 happened. Now, what happened as a result of that? But also, what else happened? We had global unity. Everybody was mad. Everybody was ready to fight. Everybody was against Al Qaeda. We weren't like rustling and tussling with each other. We were basically on one that we needed to kill this person or do away with this person. We knew that. So I wanted to show you also that the stock market fluctuates according to events. A lot of times people do not realize that, like for right now, the stocks are doing, yeah, okay, but it depends on who's going to get in office. And also it depends on that person's agenda. For instance, when a certain man who was last night, if I hear one more meme about eating cats and dogs, I'm gonna be like, what? I literally, one of my coworkers was walking down the hallway and she was like, "What you eating, chicken or dog?" He's like, "No, I was a cat." I was like, "Okay, y'all is tripping." But he when he was in office, his thing was industry. He loved industry, so he loved coal, he loved anything gas and things like that. So those stocks did really, really, really well. When Obama was in office, he wanted to do more alternative energies, like wind powers and things like that, and solar energy. So those companies did really, really well. So it depends on who's in office that could dictate your stock. Then also, if a company has a scandal, if you got a company and they're trying to oust the president of the company, the CEO, it doesn't do well for stocks. They tend to go down. And that's when I call it being on sale. I love on sale and I love free. And so those on sale, that's when the stock goes down and you're able to purchase a lot of it at that time. So when you get stable and then they get a new president, everything goes up, you make money. So yeah, think about stuff like that. Also, I wanted to let you know, like right now, as in from 2022, we're doing really good in regards to African Americans in stock. But it's the most of the 40s and below. They've been doing, I mean, an astronomical job of investing. But that's because we had a lot of technology that happened. Used to back in the day when I would invest, I'd have to call up a broker, which he got part of my money, and I'd have to get him to do stock for me. Now it's just click, 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 click. Most of you can go to your banks. You can open up, like literally leave here and open up on your account. You can do it by phone, majority of times, and watch it. You got Robinhood for most people. That's a click, click, click. Link up your bank, got stock. A lot of young people are doing stocks now. And I'm very like about it because when back in the day I was the only one and it just felt really bad. But that was due to technology. Now, quick question, show of hand. Oh, I'm sorry, go for it. That is an app. Robinhood is an app. It'll be show you some more on that. But Robinhood is an app. Quick question: do you invest in stock? Anybody in here? Oh, we got some. Ah, look at y'all. We got a good church. Look at y'all. You didn't know your wife. We're supposed to be one. I'm gonna show you why the job doesn't count. I'm gonna show you why your job. I hope in the next couple slides you be like, man, I don't feel good right now. Cash App does not count either. So they have, yeah, they do have a new Cash App, and I haven't really looked at it, but people like it. Hmm? People like it. Well, anybody in here have? I'm sorry, go for it. And then you can just move along and move that stock. And when you get stock, you can move it to your children if you leave this earth. Go for it. I, I'm gonna show you that. I got that. I got that. Make sure you grab a packet in the back. I got you. So, few people, not everybody invest in stock. Well, well, that no, not really. That's your tithes. And then if you do more, that's your offerings. And that's something we're supposed to do. It's an investment into your spiritual, your soul. And also, I'll tell any he sure do. He sure do. I mean, he the best investment, and I promise you, he is 10 times down. He gonna always do what he do with them that stock. What you put in there for the storehouse. Now that is true. Now I will ask a question again. Does anybody have a bank account? By hands, anybody got a bank account? Yeah, you got a bank account. Everybody got a bank account. Okay. So then, do you know that your money is being invested? Yeah, your money is being invested. Did you really think that you put that dollar bill into your bank account and just sit there? No, it don't sit there. It moves around. Your money make money. You don't make any part of it. So I hope that gets you a little bit like, eh. So if you look at the, I guess it's my left, y'all right. Most of the time, majority of the time, 43%. This is Wells Fargo, 2021. Most of them lend money out to businesses. So most people will get a business loan. They have to pay what? Interest. Because we gave you money, right? But whose money did they give? Think about it. Whose money did the bank give? Yeah. Did you get any part of that interest? Mm-mm. You ain't get none of that money. You didn't see it. But they use your money. Then you have where they sit there and they charge like commercial banking fees and things like that. That's how they live. You overdraft, you're gonna get a charge. And then also they have services. You can go there and do your finances and things like that. So they get their money. But they also do something else. They invest your money in stocks. Did you not know that? They invest your money in stocks. And then they get what we call a dividend, which I'll explain a little later, which is the money that's made from your money that they invest in stocks. Do you get in that money? So literally, your money is being invested and you see none of it. Hopefully that gets you a little bit like, well, I got to get better at this. Your money does not just sit in the bank. They use it. Okay? Oh, see that? Yes, you did. When you turn that fine print, we a lot of fine print at the bottom of that. So they take my money, your money, her money, her money, her money, her money, and they give it to Mr. John, and he go open him a business, and then they can only use a little, so much, but it depends on what account you open. All right then. Amen. Hallelujah. So you opened your business. They borrow their own money back. So when you go to payday loan places, you have charged more interest because they're thinking you're not going to pay the loan. So then they get their money, and then even if you default, they're gonna get more money from you because you just defaulted, and now we're gonna pay some interest, and we're gonna pay some fees on their predatory loans. They haven't lost anything. And banks haven't lost anything either. They use your money to go make money. And we got no money. Think about that. I know, but it's cold in here. He's trying to freeze us. He's trying to freeze us. Y'all, it's cold out there in YouTube world. So you got to be in the house. You got to be in the house. Just shake it. Ooh, we cold in here. But I want you to think about that for a second. Let that sit in your mind. That when your money, when you go and you work hard and you put your money in there, you don't like it, don't you? Don't it didn't sit right with me. I don't know about y'all, it don't sit right. And even your employer, for those who work at UAB or whatever major corporation, your company invests the money before you get there. So they get money back off your money. Isn't that and then get left out. Like big corporations like that, mhm, go to your benefits office. You'll see that they use your funds, they go invest. I mean, how does UAB put up another building? They use it off the interest of the of people's money and funds from their salaries. Money got to come somewhere, right? All right, now let's build your portfolio. Hopefully, you're to the point now you're like, I got to get my life in order. I got to start investing because I can't lose out on other things. Okay. So I know it's a lot of small writing. Hopefully online y'all get to see. For those of you who have your handouts and whatnot, you get to see it. So we have a number of types of different investments that you can do, different accounts, different things you can put in your portfolio. And it's going to depend on your comfort level. What's up? So you ask them what are our stocks? What do we invest in? Then you're going to ask them what is your portfolio? What is the company's portfolio? So every company has a portfolio. Huh? Sometimes they send them out quarterly. It is public knowledge. What I'm telling you is not something they're like, whoo, but a lot of people just don't go do it. They just right. And you probably look at it and like, right. And they count on that. I mean, honestly, they do count on that because at that point they can use your money to do what they want to. As I say, they'll erect another building or do what they want to do, and you get no profit from it. Yes. Yep. Right. Good point. Oh yes, you can mimic their exact investment. You can, do I need to give her a mic? What'd you say? Well, you have to have money, but you can have a dollar bill and go invest today. Literally, a dollar bill. So you can go, like she just said, go to your benefits office and say, hey, what did y'all stop? Hmm. I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna show you how. You can do that in 10 minutes. I'm gonna show you how. You could do the Robin Hoods and all that. That's how you do that. So top up here, I guess my top. I don't forget. Anyway, REITs. REITs is a form of investment. It's a real estate investment trust. I absolutely positively love these. Okay, there's different types of REITs. REITs are when a group of people have gotten together and they invest in stock all as one. So you put money into them and then they go out and get property. You have people that just get malls. You have people that just go get fun stuff. They just people that there's even a farm REIT. Like there's people who go and invest and just take farms and put them all together and then you invest into them and whatever the farm like produces, then you get a cut of that, which is called your interest. It's your profit, it's your dividend. So dividend stocks create what is called dividend. So say I put $10 in, and my $10 goes over here and makes $20. So I made $10 of dividends. So the company, like your companies, will take that $10 and they probably give you a penny back. But you actually can get more than that back if you do it yourself. Like when I'm talking about like UAB, like a Wells or Fargo, or big companies like that, they invest. So they take their money and they invest in like VOO is one, Vanguard is an index fund that they'll invest in, which is a group of stocks, and they'll put money into that. They'll get a dividends from that and get the money back, the interest. You get none of that. Most companies are, it's kind of a bottom line that you invest in it. Like UAB, I mean, you don't get a choice. So you have things like TIA, TIA Craft is one that will match it, but still, they're just giving you back your money. They haven't given you none of the interest. Right. I do that too. Like safe. hmm And then you, like he just talked about risk. We'll talk about that in a minute, but you have to determine what's your risk. If you, it's $20 a month good for you, that's $20 a month. If it's $30 a month, it's $30 a month. If it's $300,000 a month, it's $300,000 a month. But you can start with a dollar bill. So we're gonna get you there tonight. We're gonna get you there tonight. So like I was saying, this is different types that can add to your portfolio. Reefs are one. Then you can have a certificate of deposits. That's what she talked about, a CD. So a lot of people get these. A lot of people get these. We're gonna go in details for some of these further down the presentation. So CDs, I ain't got to use that money. Throw it in the CD. So I just put it on most banks. Most credit unions have CDs. You can put anywhere from, depending on it, 500 to a couple thousand, and then you can earn the interest off of it, but you can't touch it. Take it out, get penalized. Can't touch it. It depends on the bank. It can range between 4 to 6%. But you got to figure out who is your best, and then you got to figure out their stipulations and the time of that CD. So most people do what's called stacking CDs. So, like for instance, I'll get a CD that matures in a year, and I'll get another one matures in 2 years, and might get one that matures in 5 years. So the one that matures in 1 year, I'll take that money out and I can go play or do whatever I want to with it. Then the two, then the five, that kind of thing, and then you can take some money out and then reinvest in and get some more CDs. Some people live like that. I love IUL better. I love IUL better. It's universal life insurance. So that's what we Terrence is coming next week, and we have ours through him, and I love that. And actually, you know who actually got me on those? Waka Flocka, the rapper. Waka Flocka, the rapper. So he was sitting there talking about it, and I said, this a rapper. And if you know about music industry, you only got a small window where you are relevant. And then you got to make yourself relevant either by doing something stupid and crazy. I don't really see him around doing nothing stupid and crazy. So how is this nut still making money? And that's when he was talking about it. So let me go and just really do. And then I sat Terrence down and just drilled him. And he answered every single question. And that day, both Alan and I signed up for him. You can if you want to, or you just take it out. Well, a CD matures to a certain period. So it might be a CD for 5 years, 10 years. It has a fixed time and a fixed, it could be a fixed term or an adjusted term. we're gonna talk about that because I got that in the presentation. I got that. I got you. I promise. So what of a CD? I got that in the prison. Okay. I promise you. I promise you. This is the overarching slide to kind of get us wet for each and everything. So then we got the exchange trades funds. Now these are funds that are sometimes considered pools of funds. They can be foreign, which I saw one because we started having some craziness with China. So these are a group of funds that you can invest in. Then you have master limited partnerships. So you can have partnerships with funds. I can say I have a partnership with your company, and you and I, we are going to have funds. You have funds, I have funds. We're going to trade together, and we have a partnership. And then we go money, and you say our partnership dissolves in 10 years. So whatever our stocks or whatever our investments made in 10 years, then you and I will split them up. So you can do partnerships. We can also do what is called a common stock. Now, this is what we're going to really delve into. And this is what you're talking about with Robinhood and things like this. This is for the common people. So this is when a company takes itself, old big old company, and you got 100% of the company. And about 57% of the company is always owned by usually the founder or the board or something like that. So they have controlling interest. Then they split the rest of it up among the common stock, which is us, who can invest. So we're stockholders, things of that nature. That means we take a piece of the pie or ownership of that company. So that's one of the great things I love about stock. Because if you really think about it, you own part of their company. You truly do. And whatever they make, you make. So I tell people all the time, invest in things that you like. If you do, your company is cleaning. If you found a product that you really, really like, go invest in that. If yours is the watches company you really like, go invest in that. You're going to be more apt to think about that stock, look at that stock because you like what they produce. Other people like what they produce. You drive a Ford car. You love Ford. Go get you some Ford stock. You love Nike. Get you some Nike. Uh, Target. Love me some Target, so I had to give me some Target stock. Uh, we get the game. You also take a hit on the loss. You can do one or two things. You can sell it and cut your losses and be like, hey, I'm already down $5. I'm gonna be all right. Or you can keep and it's called hold, where you hold your position and you don't sell, you don't buy, you just hold your position and it might go back up. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. I thought we were online. So try YouTube. Try YouTube. So yeah, it's called your position, your hold. So I can either buy, I can sell, I can hold. So there's three things you can do. You can buy the stock, you can sell the stock, you can hold it. If you got stock and you realize that it's taking a nosedive, for some people, if it's a really good company and you know it's going to come back up, like say their president did a scandal and this fool acted a fool, then and it's the stock just tanks. I'm gonna go buy 100 shares because it's on sale. So when they get a new president and things start getting better, things go back up. And I bought it at $5, and when it goes back up to $10, then I done double my money. You know what I'm saying? So you, okay? I know it do that. All. You have to find that sweet spot. But then that's when you look at things like the analyst for that company, and I'm going to show you how. So you would look at an analyst and see there's people that this is what they do for a living all day, every day. So they will give what is called a grade. You get an A through an F. So, and they could do an A minus and things like that, where they have looked at the entirety of the company and they have given a grade, and they'll say whether to buy, hold, or stay. And you can listen to them. Some people I know who only listens to them. Some people listen to their heart. I tend to pray. Holy Spirit, let me know what to do, and He will. It's like Tamika was talking about last week. Holy Spirit will lead you and guide you every time. Then also you have preferred stock. Oh, y'all, this is one that kicks me. This is your banks, your J.P. Morgans, your Wells Fargo's, and things like that. These are people with mega money. So they go in there into a company and they'll take out 20, 30% of the stocks that are available at that company. And if they take out 20, 30% of their stocks and the company does well, then who gets the most money? The bank does. Whoever, JP Morgan, whoever, Vanguard, whatever, they're going to get the money. I look common stock, yes, but they get the most. But they also have the most to risk because they didn't put the most money in. So it'd be logical that they're going to get the most return. All right. You also have bonds. Oh, I love bonds. Uh, you can do everything from municipal bonds. Those are government bonds. So bonds, remember back in the day? I don't know if everybody back in the day, in the 50s and 60s, they would have a bond. Y'all remember that? Yeah, my grandmother had one. Savings bonds, yeah. And it's where you take your money and you invest in a company or in whatever you're doing. And they say 5 years, we're going to look at where we are and we're going to give your money back and we're going to give you a part of our interest. You have to let it mature. I remember that. Grandma used to have them in get a little certificate and they would have it in the beds and all that. And then they would wheel it down to the next person. I mean, and then stocks been around. A bond's been around for years. Then you have mutual funds. Mutual funds are like our Fidelity, Vanguard, things like that. And you can actually invest into a mutual fund that already has about 5 or 600 stocks in their portfolio. So you invest in their portfolio. You don't even have to have your own portfolio. You just do their portfolio. A lot of people do that. You don't want to watch it. You don't care to watch it. You're like, I want to make some money, but I don't know how to make some money. So I just go to Vanguard because they'll watch over, do what I need to do for it, and I'm gonna invest in their stock because they invest in other stock. It's like a parasite. I always think about it. Uh, so we are talking a lot, and I want to make sure. I know this is really small, but you guys have your papers. Did you get a? Oh, okay. Alan, get you one. But I wanted to discuss some terms with you. So, when Shannon was talking about on Sunday that you have to be kingdom language. Well, finances has their own language. And a lot of time that's what hangs people up. That's the part that like people are like, I don't know what they be talking about. And I'm like, and then they look at the person like, this is all they talk about. They be like, what? Why they just say it that way? I'm like, okay. When we when we talk about stocks, it is the controlling interest in a company. It's interest, investment, it's ownership part of that company. It's taking a part of that pie. You got 100% of a company. It's like I might own 2% of that company, 3% of that company. It's taking a pie of it. Dividends. That is what your money makes. So if you put in $100 and it makes $20, those are your dividends. Simple as that. That's the money that your money made. So if you invest, you get a part of that pie. Crystal, why your face look like that? Why your face look like that? Is that? It depends on how much you buy. It depends on how much you buy. The more stock you buy, the more dividends you get. No, you probably get like $5 or $6. But you can do a drip, which is called the reinvestment of your of whatever interest you got. So whatever dividend you got, you can reinvest it. You can let it sit there, and then every time it gets it, it just goes straight back in, straight back in. It keeps snowballing itself. So next thing you know, you look around, you be like, hold on, I got $50,000 over time. Over time, and this is like I told you, one of the put up in one of the slides as far as the Bible gains that are come really quick go fast. Ones that come really slow, they stay. So when we're talking about stocks and bonds and things like that, you're talking about future. We're not talking about here and now. Every so often you'll have something where overnight it shots up, like you just said, but very, very often it's a and then something happens and it's like, whoo, but you got to be there when something happens. Go for it. Not re- I'm glad you said that. Technology has made it so much better. So you have things like Google and Apple and all of them, Yahoo Finance. You can actually, in a ticker that goes across the bottom of your screen for your computer, you can type in the stocks that you want to watch on your watch list, and they'll ticker in, and you can just kind of look down. And you're like, oh, it's at a good amount. I feel like I can buy some. So it's things that's automated now that you can put in your mind and your spirit and your heart to kind of like, okay, I can look at this every so often. And frankly, if you can sit and look at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok for a couple of hours, you can pay attention to some stock. I mean, just being real. Does TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook give you anything for your future? Set up your kids? No, this can. So, when people tell me, I ain't got no time. Yes, you do. I saw you on Facebook for an hour. Go for it. So at that moment, say Apple comes through and it's $10 a day. I mean, it's not, it's a couple hundred. But if it's $10 a day and you're like, ooh, I'm buy some. So at that point, you pull up your Robinhood that your wife has. And it links it to your bank account. You can have like any of your banks. You can also sign up for one of theirs where you can go into their app real quick and buy some stock. So when I say buy, you literally will go in and put what is called a ticker. So every company has a ticker. A ticker is usually either 3 or 4 characters of that person's name. Like for instance, Southwest has Love, LUV. I know that's Southwest. ATI is Allegheny. F is Ford. Some things that I love that I have that I know. Apple is APPL. They are little names, short names. You put that in, you say, hit a button saying, I want to buy. How many shares do you want to buy? So when I talk about shares, it's $10 is for Apple, that example would be $10 per share. So say I want to buy 100, so I want to buy 10 shares. And then you say, whoop, buy. It's just that easy. And then they go and they buy it for you. The company, whatever company that you do it under. So if you do Vanguard, if you do Schwab, or you do Wells Fargo's, they have what is called a broker, but it's done electronically now. Back in the day when I was doing stock, it was actually a person. So I would have to call my broker and say, hey, Sylvia, I want to buy 10 shares of blah, blah, blah. He would have to wait till the market opened the next day, and he would have to go in there on my behalf on the floor and say, I need 10 shares of Apple on Zenoria's behalf. Now you don't have, huh? No, because you're gonna do your own stock. You can check it. It is secure. It is secure. It's FCI, FDIC. Actually, I have Robinhood and I have Wells Fargo. So, and then I have Schwab. So Wells Fargo is what is I consider my long term stock. That's stuff I want to move over to there and keep for a long time. Like I'm not gonna sell my GE. I'm not gonna sell my Disney. I'm not gonna sell my Ford. It's stuff I'm not gonna sell. Disney, GE, GE, and Disney. I'm not. But think about it. How long Disney been around? How long Ford been around? There's some stock that's been from the test of time. So why would you want to sell those? Those are something I want to will to my children. Well, yeah, we got risk, but there's certain companies like Microsoft. I wouldn't want to sell a Microsoft stock, so I'm gonna leave that in my long term. Now, if I find like something hot today and I'm like, grab my Robinhood, buy it, and then later on I can switch it back over to my long term stock. It literally takes like maybe 10 clicks. You just bought some Netflix. Uh huh. Okay, when we talk about capital, we talk about money. Capital is equal to money. I mean, you got this long thing and going in there, but it's actually money. When we talk about things like beta means the volatility of that stock. If it's up to one, if it's less than one, that means that stock is not trading a lot. That means a lot of people not looking at it. That means it's not doing much. It's just kind of along. But if you got something that's a beta over one, that means everybody's trading. They're selling, they buying, they're selling, they buying. It's really, really like volatile. You're gonna hear that word volatile. That means that the stock market is going up and down for that particular stock. Everybody following? It's a lot, but it's not. If you think about it, just think about it. It's kind of fun when you think about it. You, but and I got you. I got you. I got you already. I got that. All your questions, I got that. Um, then also you have to learn what type of market you have. Do you have a bull market or you have a bear market? Bear, think about a big bear. He's really slow. He's like, oh my goodness, I'm here. That is when the market is really, really slow. It's falling, nothing's happening, everything's kind of calm and direct. It's cool. Then you got bull. Bull mean we about to come in here and tell something. You know, bull in the China shop. So that market is boom, 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 buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. That is a stock that is a bull stock. That stock is going. It's going. That means there's a lot of people that want to buy it. Some people want to sell it. Some people trying to get money off of it. That they're going. Bear stock, it's like your Ford. They're not gonna do much, but it's good. It's not really gonna go down. That's like your Johnson and Johnson. Everybody in here probably using Johnson Johnson in their house somewhere, huh? Well, a great thing happened called fractional stock. So fractional stock is I ain't got no Bitcoin. Bitcoin is $57,000, but I can put 500 in it. That's a fraction of it. So this is what I mean when you can buy stock for $1. It might be $200 that stock is worth, but you only want $1 worth of it. So it's called fractional stock. You don't have to buy a whole share. You can buy a little bit, and then you can buy a little bit at a time. So that's why I was like $20. You can get stock. Another thing I want y'all to large cap and small cap. Large cap companies. That's your big baby companies. That's over $30 million. They got money, 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 money. Those are your Walmarts. Those are your Targets. Those are some big money companies. But then you got large, small cap companies. Those are smaller companies. They trade with less, but are quite risky. Because those are companies that can fold in a moment. Or you can have a big company come and buy that company. So you got to figure out which kind of company you're dealing with. Yeah, that's small. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. That's small. That's small. That's a small company. That's one that had probably hadn't been around a long time, and that's a company who's probably had a little up and down. And if it starts tinkering down, a larger company will go and buy it. I'm trying to think. Well, what was that? Oh goodness, Dollar General went and bought Dollar Tree when they bought them. We bought them. They bought them. That's why you'll see both of them like next to each other. And that was one. Oh, that was a big regret. I had a friend of mine who was like, "See, you need to go buy some Dollar General stock." I'm like, "Dollar General," and I did not buy it. And then it went up almost $300. Like what? Then I had another friend who actually bought 100 shares of Bitcoin when it was at like $200. Yep, nine said $57,000. It's like what? Yes. Okay, I know per share. Then also I wanted you guys the Dow Jones average. Anybody ever heard of that? Mm-hmm. And have you ever heard of the S&P 500? Those particular things. So the S&P 500. So remember last night on the debate when they were talking about the economy. So anybody who has a job, anybody got a job, you at your job. If something changes, you have to have a way of measuring if the change was good or if it was bad. Correct? Everybody. What do you say? So the S&P is a way to gauge whether our economy is good and bad because it looks at the first 500 giants of our economy. Who has the biggest? Who is over those 10 billion, excuse me, mark companies? 500 of them. If they're doing good, economy great. If they're doing bad, economy not so good. So that's how you gauge. Some people I know just have all of those 500 companies in their portfolio. That was all they wanted to do was make sure they get all 500 of those companies. Huge companies, and they only have small. They only have like 200 or 300 shares on it, or some even less, like 20 shares. So that's when you talk about S&P. That's when they will sit there and you look on the. I know y'all looking like, okay, I understand that now. When you're looking at the news and they're like the economy is about to tank, they're looking at those 500 companies to see how good they are, how much they're doing as far as revenues, as far as spending. So I can't sit up here and spend all this money and I'm not making money. But if I'm spending money and making money, then hey, I'm doing good. That's basically how a company. And then also you have to look at what the company is doing at that moment. So if it's a company getting ready to buy another company, then it's going to pull all its assets in so I can make sure I can get enough money to buy that company. So it might not pay out dividends at that moment. It might be in a hold position, but you hold it to make sure to see it going to get that company, pull it over, and then the stock will go up. Uh-huh. That was to keep our stock market straight because you had a lot of people, think about it, who had these huge corporations who had no one in the building. They weren't producing anything. You can go to any markets, couldn't do nothing. So they weren't generating anything. So that's why our federal government had to give them money to keep them stable and keep them afloat, or it would have crashed our whole economy. Nobody was doing anything. We at home. But you know who went up? Amazon. Amazon, Lowe's went up. Everybody was out there doing them projects. Everybody was over there. Oh, I got so much stuff off Amazon. But then guess what went up afterwards? So I'll answer your split in a minute. So yeah, but then guess what happened? Guess what stocks did really, really good after COVID? Think about it. After COVID, guess what did really good? They tanked. They went really bad during COVID, but they went bounced back like 3 times more. Vacations, hotels, Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, y'all. Everybody and their mamas at Planet Fitness. That stock went up 4 times more than it was before it was there because everybody was at home getting fat. And then next thing you know, as soon as we was outside, as they say, the stock went straight up. And it's been up since then because people are still struggling. You lose the COVID weight. So that's when I say you have to pay attention to what goes on in the news in order for you to gauge the stock market. Baby, if you was they was trying to them bodies embalming fluid, things like that. People were trying to. Hmm. I can believe them. Like embalming fluid, anything that deals with like mortuary, all that stuff. Hmm. Healthcare, all those stocks went up. Huh? Well, I gotta look at what company makes it or who makes the ingredients of the company. And that's what you just have to pay it. Honestly, it's paying attention, like you have said before, is that we pay attention to the Middle East. We pay attention to what goes on in Israel and whatnot. It's what goes on in the world. When Hamas bombed Israel, guess what happened to the stock? It went down. People were scared. Who want to go out and buy anything when you're scared? And then if you're thinking that might that will affect our economy, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hold your money. Ain't nobody gonna spend that. Called fraud. Called fraud. So this is when you talk about evaluating stock. I put this in all of your packets. It's called a value line. This is one of the best ways I've ever found to evaluate stock. So this little orange looking, yellow looking packet thing, and it will show you exactly how to read this. So a value lines, maybe and it was created gazillion years ago, probably back in the 50s or something. So you did have people just what you just said. They would misrepresent themselves, thinking that you thought, oh, this company is so great, so you put this money in it, but they was misrepresenting themselves, and next thing you know, the company turned around, fold, and your money's gone. So value lines were created to basically show the growth of the company, and it's free to anybody at the public library. But then you can get a subscription of it. If you do trading, most people that do like the lifestyle is trading, then they'll buy a value line, a subscription for a little over $500, almost $600. But you can get it for free at the public library. You can also get it for free for most of your like UAB. It's free. We get it. You just go into our library system, go into the database, click down with a V, and then there's your value line. Most big companies will have it, and if you just go and ask. So a value line, if you look, it's kind of a survey or an update, a checkup of a particular company. So for this one, I put in here is McDonald's, and you also have a copy of the value line in your packet, the big value line, if you want to look at it. Then, like I said, you got the book that will show you exactly how to go through it. So I'm just going to pick out some things. So you see the McDonald's Corporation, right? And then you see their ticker number, and they exchange on the New York Stock Exchange. Their ticket name is MCD. See that? So when you refer to it or when you want to buy it, you would buy it as MCD. McDonald's and New York Stock Exchange. Y'all realize there's more stock exchanges throughout the world. You have China has one, Japan has one, a different place, even Canada has one. And you can buy stock on those. Now, be real, our federal government does not want you to exchange on those. So there are higher sanctions on. So you might be penalized a little bit more because they want to keep money here. Free ain't free. I mean, you're gonna have fees and things like that, but they can just put sanctions to see where you're doing what you're doing. And they really honestly want you to keep your money here in the United States. It's penalization. That means they might charge you a little bit more, things of that nature. But you can do another stock exchange. You can go to another country. Okay, so you're going to look at the ticker, and then you also look at what is their percent price, which is the price of the stock at the moment, which is $269.30. That's what it's trading at. Got it? That's how much you, or you can pay a fraction of it. Like I said, fractional stock. So I only got $20. You pay $20. I, right. Oh, I love this. Yes. You got, girl, you see there? I told you got this. You got this. But if I only got $20, then I can spend $20 and I can get a fractional of a share. A share is my hold or my ownership in that company. So it means that if I want one share, that means I got one small share of McDonald's for $269. Got one share of it. Mm-hmm. 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 And then you make your money. Then you sell it the next year. Mm-hmm. And you have like, yep, 100% is my pot. So if I'm putting it in terms of this church. Okay, this church, we got this church. Bishop owns 57% of this church. Everyone in here has a share of the church. So we're all part owners of this church. But say Bishop says, I don't want y'all to own no more of mine. And they've done this before. I don't want all these shares out there. Then he says, I'm gonna buy yours back, I'm gonna buy hers back, I'm gonna buy yours back, I'm gonna buy it back. But he got to buy it back for what it's worth now. You might have bought the share from him for $10, but now it's worth 50. So you're gonna be like, I want my $50. So give me my money. So he has now have to pay you what the share is worth. Right, but he doesn't own all of it. Yes. And that's what you can call, you can split. What she's talking about, a split. So a company can get so big so quick, like Amazon and Ford just did a split. They can do a 2-to-1 split where they say to you, for your shares, now we have gotten so big, we got all this money. I'm going to give you two, basically 2 times more for what your shares were. Right. To give to us. Right. And then you take some, he takes some, but Bishop still has the control and interest of the church. I mean, he whatever he decides. But you'll still own parts of it. As a shareholder in the church, you have the right to say something to him. Oftentimes shareholders will get together and make a decision about a company that now the owner of the company has to honor. You don't have to. You can go to shareholder meetings. Actually, you can. So once you own a share in a company, they'll have shareholder meetings where you can walk up in that meeting and say whatever you want to and ask every question you want to ask. And because you now own the company, you own part of that company. They send you, yeah, they send you for the votes too. You send a vote, and he can, or he can say, "I'm gonna give my majority to Cece," and then he can will it over to her, which is what most people do with the Walmart family. They willed it over once the dad died. Then you remember all the siblings got it. They buy because of the gain and the capital that has been put up. So I can't give you. So say my company brings in 10 million, and I'm gonna keep 5, and I split it all out. Now I can split that dollar into 2 50-cent pieces. So that means you get a part and Carolyn get a part, or I can split it 4 quarters, and you get a part, she get a part, she get a part. That's what we're talking about when we're breaking it up. When you're saying like how many people, it just depends on how it's broken up. So say you have 10 shares of it, and I gave you $10, but I took $5 and broke it up amongst all of them over here. That's by your choice. So you can choose. You got a revelation. So you can choose. That's what I'm saying. How you can choose the amount of shares that you have. The more shares you have, the more interest you have, the more right you have to whatever your money produces. So if you put in $10 and he only put in 50 cents, then when I start making money off the money that I got from both of y'all, I owe you more because you gave me more, right? Because he only gave me 50 cents, you gave me $10. So I need to give you more because you had a larger risk than he did, right? So that's how it goes. I got more power. So like I said, and then I got more since you got $10 and he only got 50 cents. When some go down, who am I listen to? You, because you got more money. You just ignore him. You're right. It depends on how it's split. Hmm. That's how we're gonna divide it up. And then how many of those shares is gonna be worth what? And then I can buy, like I said, I can buy 10 shares, I can buy 5. Just like you can split a dollar bill. I mean, it's hundreds of ways. I can put you in all pennies. I can put you in all dimes. I can put you in all quarters. I can do a dollar bill can be divided in so many different ways. Yeah, I know. I hate some because you can do a negative split. You can do a negative split or you can do a positive split. So a positive split is if the company has so much freaking money and now they want to split and increase the money, which you get double, sometimes triple your money back. Or you can do a negative split, which they're saying I don't have enough money, so you're going to lose money then, big time. So that means I'm gonna take my dollar and I split my 10 cents from all of y'all, and now instead of it splitting 10 cents to everybody, I'm gonna do maybe 25. So that means only 4 people can invest instead of 10 people. It's by what the money that is spent or what they've gained from the money. So shares are money being put in, and then the dividends that's made from the money. That's how much one share of that company is worth. So say a company is worth $10 billion. So just one little bit of it is 269. That little bit is 269. All of it till it equals up. They well, that's where the fluctuation is. The market depends on what they made. So if they made, then it goes up. The value of it goes up. If they didn't make anything, the value goes down. Uh huh. Uh huh. So they did a negative split. That's a backward split. It took 9 of us because the company can reevaluate its money and what's its finances, and at that point they can say, "I got too much out there." He can say, "I got too many of y'all's opinions out there, so I don't want that money. I'm the pastor. I don't want all them opinions. So I'm just gonna do Gaden, and I'm gonna do Crystal, and I'm gonna do Carolyn, and I'm gonna do and all y'all. I'm gonna have to buy y'all out. I'm not. I'm gonna get rid of y'all." Then he has to give you money to, but he's not. But then I'm not. He's not gonna give you his back if it's a negative way. He's not gonna give you back what you pay or what you put in. Uh huh. Mhm. Mhm. $15. Mm. They did a negative way split. Yep. And they did an evaluation. They did evaluation. And that's when they like they said I got too much out there. I got too much money. I got too many people. I got too much out there. And I messed up. And then that's when they start backing back with dollars. They split it. Yeah. Yeah. And you can't do anything when it froze. So like when the recession hit, I think I lost like $25,000 in a matter of 10 minutes. It was ridiculous. Okay, we got receipt. Right, they want to sell it another time, and then right before, and and then you gone. And that's usually when a company realizes that it didn't make the money they were supposed to make, and then it's like, oh my gosh, I put too much out there. I got to bring this back. I got to dial it back. And you see it. Yeah, it literally is ticking down. Like yeah, you tick down and it's like $15,000. Tick down, it's $20,000. Tick down, $25,000. You sitting there because it done frozen. Like I was sitting at my desk, like, okay, all right, and nothing you can do. Okay, this is the simulator that you was talking about. So I put the QR code in you guys' packet. So this I love this really great tool, Vestapedia, which is one of my resources I love. They have this called a simulator. So it will simulate you like you're trading. So you can do this for free. It is you not no money, no money, no money. It's just you getting into the habit of actually trading of actually trading. So it gets you in the habit. You can go in there and buy some stock like you would be buying it at the price it is. You can see and watch it for a while and watch yourself do it. Go through the motions of it. You're not going to lose any money. Like I said, it's no money. You don't. It's not linked to any bank account or anything. It is a way, a tool for you beginners to kind of start. Just get yourself kind of acclimated to. I got to look and see where things are, how to tick things off, how to look at a share. And then, like I said, in your packet is the value line. So you're going to look at, it's like this yellow book in there. And you look at the value line of how to read a value line, how to evaluate the company. If the company goes down, you have to look at the seasons of a company. But he was talking about different things at different seasons. Now, question. When do you think Disney makes the most money? When them chillings out of there. So what you think happens to Disney stock during the summer? So they report out, usually after the summer, they're going to report out the next quarter. And so at that point, the stock is high. So a lot of people, like you said, will sell it at that point. And then when it goes, cold and wet and rainy and all of that, it goes down, of course. And then you can buy. And then and you do it again. Do it again. You just wait. You just using the money from the stock. Yeah, well, yeah. Hold on to your money. Like I think your daughter was telling me that y'all own some land, and I was like, why don't you have the person lease it? Don't sell your land. Land is very, very like a good commodity that I always have. Anyway, so this is a simulator that you can use to get yourself acclimated. Now, when you're ready for the big dogs and you're ready to do yours, these are a couple that I like, and I have Schwab, I have Robinhood, Vanguard. I'm thinking about Vanguard another time, but those are ones that you might want to invest in. So, and I say invest $100. That's most people go out to eat at a nice restaurant. You're gonna spend $100. Invest it in something you like, your watches, what you like to do, and watch it for a while. Don't get wild and crazy. Put $1,000 in there. Put $100 in there. You done went through the simulator. You figured out how things grow and how it changed because it'll show you how the stock changed after all. And then at that point, go take your $100 and invest in one of these. Always. Now they'll try to do that. So it's a little bitty thing that they'll put, and some of them, Vanguard I know does, they'll leave it clicked. So when you get ready to make a trade or you get ready to do something, a little broker will come up in a little box and says, "Hey, do I need to help you?" And you'll be like, "No, but they charge you for him." And you'll be like, "I just wanted to buy my stock." But they'll charge you for him. So make sure when you're going into these, you unclick that because you know what you know. Once you go through this packet, read, you will know what you know. It is just that easy. It really is. Take what you really like. If you, like I said, you like the watches. If you like, jewelry, whatever it is, clothes, go and look at the company that you're investing in. I love Target. So I got me some Target stock. I love Target. Do what you love. Uh, Target. And then from that point, or if you want, I'd say the lazy way of investing, go ahead and do a mutual fund. VOO, Vanguard's one. Easy. You invest in what they invest. There you go. Gala Farm. All right. So I also wanted to give you some tips about how people's like, how do I get rich on stocks? Because it seems like I don't get nothing by $20, $30 here, whatever, whatever. So of course, you can get your stock out if you want to, and you can purchase your stock, but you can do what is called a DRIP, a dividend reinvestment plan. That means that I'm gonna leave my money up in here, and whatever my money made is gonna be put right back into the company. Money made, put right back in the company. If I don't need it, but say I need it, I'm like, oh my gosh, car broke down. What's up? Yes, but I'm gonna show you how to wait and not pay no tax. So you can reinvest it, and you keep reinvesting. And say you put $100 in, but your dividends keep reinvesting, and now you at 300. So maybe you like car broke down. I'm gonna take $100 out. But did you lose anything? You only invested 100. Now you have $300 in there. I need $100. I took it out. I still got $200 in there, right? So I ain't lost nothing. And actually, I got money. So it's a way for you to actually have money. So just in case emergencies happen. Some people want, I mean, I'm honest. Some people want to do a trip, and they be like, "Look, I'm gonna take this money out because I'm gonna go buy me, get me a plane ticket. I'm gonna go." And they do, and they might come back and they do like the little seasons thing, and they say, "I'm gonna get that money," and instead of reinvest it, they go on the trip or they go buy a car. Then you have what is called my father does mailbox dividends checks. So you don't have to have your dividends go to be reinvested. They can come to your mailbox. You say every quarter I want my dividends come to me. And some people that's how they live off their retirement. They don't even touch the stock that's in there. They don't even touch the money they invest. They just get the interest off. And it comes right to their check. No. Pyramid scams. No, you lose money. But it's scam. Okay. And then I put an example in there for dividends for you guys. So dividends is what the stock made. That's how much stock made, and I get my part of it. So when, like, for instance, with the example here, it says you got 100 shares of a company for $10 each, and that means you invested $1,000. Company A pays out a dividend of 0.30, 30 cents, 30 cents per share. So now the person will see $30 on top of the money they already got in there. So now they got 1,030. And I know you're saying that's not much. Yeah, but say if that stock the next day go up to 10,000. Or say they got a new CEO that's a bad woman. She the bomb. She knows she got it all good. She a Delta, of course. And she sits there and she like triples. I mean, she come up with something innovative, and that stock goes up to $100,000 a share. How much money you got in? All right. Yeah, take your back. Keep the rest in there. And anything. Take your money back out. Enjoy your $1,000. Leave the rest in there. If it goes, it goes. Mm-hmm. Go down. Right. But you can eat, like I said, you can do three things. You can hold it, you can buy some more, or you can sell it. So that's when I'm talking about doing stock analysis. So that means I want to see what happened. You always like, when you say get curious. So you're gonna have to say, why did this stock go down? Did it go down because we got a bad CEO and they're gonna get a new one in? I'm gonna wait a mile and hold it. Did they go down because they got a scandal in the news? You're like, buy some more because they got a scandal. It's gonna go back up. Or did they just bad money management? Which usually that's one of the reasons why I wind up selling it, because if they're bad money management, anything that happens, they're gonna probably mismanage that. Some leave me alone. Do y'all get free service? Y'all get free service. All right. In the bottom, we're talking about taxes because we got to talk about taxes. Got to. So when you're doing all of these accounts and things of that nature, you got to pay taxes. So when you get out and you sell these stocks and things like that, you got to pay taxes. But you can do something. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you a tip. You can roll those what you got out of those stocks into your 401k. You hold it in your 401k for about, I think it's 30 days, and pull it on out, and no taxes. Huh? You act like you ain't understand that. I know. But you can tell your stock. You can say, I want to sell 100 shares of Ford and allow it to roll into my 401k that I have at my job, or whatever you got from your job. And you're sitting there and it's in your 401k. So when you pull it all the way out and say, I'm finna retire, I'm gonna pull that out. I pull the money that I put in there, right? And now it's not taxed. It's cleaned. You can transfer it. You can. Hmm. It can. It should be put in a raw. So when you come back out, you ain't got to pay no taxes on it. Anybody want to pay no taxes? We trying to keep money. Remember, we're trying to keep money. Okay, this is something, my example of stacking dividends. So do you see the different colors? And the different colors represents one of the companies. Like for instance, the dark green, McDonald's pays out its dividends in March, June, September, and December. When you're stacking dividend checks, this is how some people live. Honestly, this is how they retire and they live. They get the dividends from all these companies that they stacked up. So they got some coming in January, some coming in February, some coming in March, some coming in April, all the way through the year. And they're like, I ain't got to touch my accounts. I ain't got to do nothing. I just get money coming to my bank account, to my mailbox. They call them mailbox checks. So when you get, that's what most people's portfolio they like, is to make sure you have, when they pay out and they dividends, that you have a couple in each month. Like how much would you get? So say it just depends on how much you have. Say if I got one share of let's see, Walmart. Yes, if you got shares made now, so then you only get small. I mean, just like he would only put 50 cents, you only get part of that. If you put more, you get more. That's why the bigger companies, the Vanguards and all that, who put more in, they're gonna get more of the dividends. They get more of the profit. Yep. And like that's why I say do the research on your company. They do, but most people will consider. So when you're building your portfolio, make sure you have some that's like trudge along. Get you some Ford. Get you some stuff that's not gonna do nothing, but it's there. It's chilling. Get you some GE. Some stuff that just really. Then you're gonna get some stuff that's kind of mediocre, which is like your Tesla. That's relatively new, and you got yeah, you got Tesla. You get your Apple because every time they get a new phone, y'all Apple people, and, stock go up. But then you're gonna have your volatile ones. You're gonna have your ones that like trade. That's your who was my last one I bought? Plug power. Plug power is plugs that for the EV cars. That was a risk for me. Because I mean cars sit around, they do. If they don't, they don't. I'm gonna lose that money. But I have enough in the Tesla, I have enough in the Microsoft, I have enough in the Apple that if plug goes down, which it did, it balanced out because I made enough over here. So when you have your portfolio, you want a little bit of everything in it. You're gonna have your REITs, your real estate ones, because y'all are gonna have real estate. You're gonna have a couple of CDs, you're gonna have a couple of bonds. They're gonna mature at a certain time. You're gonna have some stocks that are, like I say, A1 day one. They always there, and you're gonna have some ones that might be a fly by night, but you have enough to balance your risk. What you look at me like that for? Okay, next thing up. I'm trying to blow through this, y'all. I'm sorry. Crypto. Crypto. When the crypto came on the scene, it messed up some people. Yes, it did. So crypto is basically virtual currency. So people call it money in the air. So crypto, you have to have something to stand behind the crypto, like gold or something like that. But crypto, it can be traded very easily, and it's traded across uh, foreign lands. So I can do crypto in Canada, I can do crypto in China, I can trade off crypto with somebody else. That our federal government does not like. They have tried very hard in the past couple of years and haven't been able to do it. I kind of think because some people are probably washing each other's hands, but they want to sanction it. They want to figure out a way that they can control it because they don't get no money from it. There's no middleman. There's none whatsoever. That's just you and a computer. And it's almost like a bank in the air. Most people call it a virtual bank. It's not a brick and mortar. It's people trading monies and trading things, but there's no bank to go to. Now you have Bitcoin or crypto coin ATMs. We have about 10 or 15 here in Birmingham, and they're located at different places where you can go get your money out of there. And you have to have what is called your wallet, and then you have to have a key. Which a key is just like this huge long digit. You put it in there, letters and numbers, put it in there, and you get money out. You know something? I'm not gonna go there with you. Well, that's true. You can launder money from that because it's for deal with foreign currency. So I can put all my money in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, whatnot, and then when I get it back out of the ATM, you don't know where the source of that money came from. You don't know if it's drug money. You don't know where the money come from. Now here, federal government is gonna say, how you get $10,000 in your bank account, and I know you don't make that. So they start asking questions. Money appears in your bank account tomorrow. You $1 million appear in your bank account tomorrow. Y'all don't think they're gonna ask where you get that money from? And then and then the federal government gonna be like, I want my piece. But if yeah, you do. Oh, most definitely. If you have an account and today you put a million, I give you $1 million, you walk into there, they're gonna say where you get that money from. And then the federal government is gonna say, I want my part. And if you can't explain where you get that money from, you will They will put you with the police, and the police will sit there and go back and figure out where you got that money from. That's how a lot of drug dealers get caught, is because they start spending a lot of money really fast, and they look back at their taxes and realize that you don't work nowhere. So it doesn't make sense for you to be sitting there with $100,000 in your bank account and you have absolutely no job. Hmm. Yep, they want to know where it is. They want to know where you get that money from. Yep. So digital, and there's a little bit more in your packet about Bitcoin, how it works. But I really want to, and then like the keys I've been talking about, the wallet. There's more information because I'm like, oh, we didn't blow through some time. There's some more uh, points about when did it start, and then also different types. Now it also follows the high market cap and low market cap. These are the big babies, Bitcoin and things of that nature, big babies. Then you got small ones. Dogecoin, they didn't do me well. And you got a couple of them that you can buy. Dogecoin didn't do me well. Yeah. Bitcoin, I'm still holding on to Bitcoin. And you can buy fractions of Bitcoin. So this one, oh, I can't wait for y'all to see this. Next slide. Oh, this is Bitcoin. I actually have a friend of mine who works for the Silicon Valley. He got out of his retirement. He said, Z, I never forget this day. He said, Z, I'm going to buy this thing called Bitcoin. I said, okay. He said, I'm going to put $10,000 in it. I'm going to get, I think he was like 300, 400 shares. Boy, you crazy. That's exactly what I told him. Laughed it off, didn't think anything. Each one of his shares now is $57,854.63. I still do. And his family, they literally sold everything. He's kind of, I call him a granola person. He sold all his stuff, and they fly around the world from one country to the next. He wants his kids to live like a holistic life, is what he calls it. So they might be in China for 6 or 7 months, in India for 6 or 7 months. They have the money to do it, and he doesn't work. Wife don't work. So, huh? I had that same opportunity. So when friends like that I have now, which when Tamika said that, think about the friends that you have when they talking to you, when they say to you, listen to what they say. Some people they don't mean no harm. They trying to give you some tips. Listen to it. For instance, if I was sitting up here telling you, okay, if I would have bought 10 shares, May 6, 2016, when it started trading, that would have been $4,539.90 investment. Think about what you probably spent on $4,539. Now, today it's worth $37,854,630. Oh yeah, nice little come up. And that's off 10 shares. That's if whoever and there's people who did that just held them 10 shares. That is a 1,274,995% return in 8 years. 8 years. Think about 8 years. Most of us can sit back and think about what we did 8 years ago. The hairstyle you had and whatnot. A lot of people pulled out. It took a dip. It took a dip a couple times. When they were trying to do the sanctions on it, and people were like, you got people with funny money in Bitcoin. And if you United States, like I said, when we were just talking, did the sanctions on it to figure out who got what kind of money, yeah, some people gonna be really upset. So you can, I got some fractions of it too. Woo, yes, child. And then I put in there how to buy cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency, you don't buy it normally. You have different apps that you use, different programs, and they'll assign you a different. It's called a wallet, and they will assign you a key, a virtual key, and that key is your number. You cannot forget that number. That number can be passed to your kids or whatnot. Always, I'm talking about anything that you invest in. Make sure you have a benefactor because you don't know what happened to you on what day. And I've seen people literally fight over stocks and bonds. Like they was rip a family apart. So these are some of my suggestions on as far as buying. Mine is on I have Coinbase, my personal, and then I have some benefits of cryptocurrency. It's lower fees. You don't have a middleman. So yeah, uh, you mean instant payment. You can use it almost like a credit card, which is what he do. You can even buy Bitcoin and you can do cryptocurrency to buy flights. You can buy cryptocurrency and buy a house. You can use cryptocurrency to buy a car. I mean, it's revolution. The government don't like it, y'all. The government don't like it, but they can't do nothing about it. It's him. Okay, CDs. I'm trying to blow through this last little bit. CDs. Like I told you, we talked about earlier. Mama and grandmama and them used to have CDs back in the day, and some of those things when they come to maturity, whoa. You can have fixed terms for CDs where someone says to you, "Give me $100, I will give you 5% when I finish the CD in about 10 years." And 10 years, they give you 5% of whatever you put in it. But you have sometimes you have fixed rates, and that's basically what happens. Now, this CDs, I'm gonna tell you, if you get into an emergency, you can't pull it out because you pull it out, you're gonna have heavy penalty. So that's why I say an IUL is better than a CD for me because of IUL, I can pull that out quicker. I can actually get that my hands on that the next day. A CD, you have to go to the bank, you got to do a whole bunch of other stuff, and then they will put it on penalty and they will tax you for it. So you're gonna get taxed twice, basically money off of it twice. So if you come into an emergency where you need a good $5,000, 6,000, and don't put that in no CD unless you're gonna touch, not gonna touch that CD. So if say you have, like I think Tamika was telling us, she had a child who they gave her some money and she was put in a wheel. So she's put it into a CD until the child gets older, and then the child can pull it out. That now that's money. If you ain't got nothing to do with this money, I don't need this $5,000. I say put it in a CD. Okay. Now I wanted to mention something that Tamika mentioned, and I want you to think about it. A lot of us have savings accounts, but then there's high yield savings accounts. I want everybody, if you don't do nothing, you don't take away nothing from the next three Wednesdays, please get a high yield savings account tomorrow. Even if you put $50 in it, do it. High yield savings account, put it in there, forget it, or either have it drafted automatically to your account. You're gonna miss $50. $10, $20. Put it on in that account. You see the interest. You see what comes back. 4.25%, 4.85%, 4.75%, 5.25%. Now look at a regular savings account. 0.01. They ain't even making a whole one. You get a penny. A penny. That's what they give you back. A penny. That should make you mad. So if you don't do nothing, get yourself a high yield savings account. $50. That's all I ask. $50. And if you forget about it, if you're one of those people like myself, you can get it drafted out, and then that $50, $20 go in there. Then you be like, hold on, I got that savings account. They be like 10 years past. You will look at that savings account, be at $50,000, $60,000 in there. Why you look like that? And see, this is hard for people who they only have a regular savings account and they have a regular checking account. It's hard a concept for them because if you really think about what you spend in food in one day. Most of us will go to McDonald's. McDonald's $20. And then if you go home make a sandwich, you take the $20 that you made there and you could have invested in that. Anyway, so this I didn't put in your packet, but I should have. This guy, I love this story. This guy named Damien, what's his last name? Damien Williams. His mama, he was being disrespectful to his mama. And his mom, he wanted some Jordans. So mom gave him $30 and told him, yo, you go do what you want to with this money and go do some stock market. 15 years old. In a matter of a couple of years, he made $55,000. He sat at his home and traded back and forth. He sold stock, bought stock, traded stock. He taught himself how to do stock. 15 years old. 15 years old. And I love it when he said I could just play video games, but he would rather put the work in and own part of the company that makes the game. That's what you do when you get stock. You own part of the company that makes the game. And so that money that you spent on Candy Crush, you could have been investing that and that would have made money. And then, like I love some of his I love some of his tips. Learn more about the things that you're interested, no matter how small. $5, $1. Put it in stock. You never know what it'll do. You got companies that overnight, Amazon overnight went from $50 to $200. I was like, watch. I just told you, watch the news and watch your life. What is everybody around you doing? What is the news doing? So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to the part that says about Candy Crush. There's a little button that you just say about that candy. So you're gonna go down there. You're gonna see the company that makes that game, right? So you're gonna look at the company. You're gonna look it up on the Nasdaq or put the ticker in. See if it trades. So if you see if it's being publicly traded, that means that they put themselves out there to divide their little shares up with their company. And if they do, buy some. Simple as that. Look at what you and your life do. What is what the people around you do? What do you like doing? You see everybody, huh? It's hurricane season, so Home Depot about to go up because everybody got to go and they get that water. They got to get that plywood. Look at life. If you look at life, you can do stop. Just like you told us, look at the Middle East so you can look and see what is going on in the prophecies in the Bible. Look at life. You look at life, you can actually profit off of what's going on. And then I love his last one. Don't wait to be great. Don't wait to be great. Don't wait to be great. I'm so serious. $5. Go invest you some stock. I gave you the simulator. Go and test it out. Didn't you? Uh-huh. They're online though. I don't think they have a Rick and Mortar. And then there's a black banks. They're black owned banks. A lot of black owned banks have CDs. Was it Al American? Is a black? Huh? One United. Al American is a black bank here in Alabama. So hopefully you guys you guys do have your packet. In your packet is everything that you need. I got my tips, my things. I got my own cheat sheets in there. Um, so something like I'm going to you. Y'all like so go for it. Hmm. I see that you can't have them in town. You can't have them in town. But then, and it's churches that invest. They don't even care about the ties of their community. They invest their money and they get their dividends, their money off their stock, and that's how they pay their lights. They don't ask any money from the church. But do you do you really think Church of the Highlands don't have stock? I mean, really, answer. Do you really think the Church of the Highlands don't have a stock portfolio? They do have a stock portfolio. Your TD Jakes has a stock portfolio. All of these big mega churches, they have stock portfolios. Mhm. You just keep going, and then like some people, that's how they fund buying a bigger church. They do investments, put it in a Vanguard account, things of that nature, get the money off of it, and then they will put the down payment for another church. Mhm. Mhm. Something I can just play with that. Mhm. Mhm. Right. And as he said, don't wait to be great. Don't wait to be great. I absolutely love stocks. I had Jayla was back here like she been back there just waiting patient. I'm sorry, Jayla. It depends. It depends on and that's back to the government. Because if something happens and then the United States put sanctions on it, or if China and the United States are fighting, then they hold up money and they hold up finance, and that can be a little iffy. So I don't really like what. Hmm. And then the dollar is not as strong as it used to be. So when that happened, when you were mentioning that, and I laughed, the dollar's not as strong as it used to be. So our exchange is not the best anymore. It's going to kill our dollar. It's gonna destroy our dollar. If the United States don't do it, like it's a pro and con as far as weighing the sanctions on it, the penalties on it. If you